Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Best Start Guide. I'm your host, Gavin Masters, and today is day 16. It's also CvC. So, what we're going to do is we are going to hit L to bypass the Rathalos thing for now because we are still on for the Fragment Summon events. So, I want to not claim them. Instead, I'm just coming to the menu and I'm looking for something that we can do in another section. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to go, it doesn't matter, just any stage that I can start. Stage one. Here, look, I've even got champions. They are probably going to die, but that's okay. We also have, oh, you know what? So first order business, because it is the clan quest reset day, we are going to select our quests together. I'm going to do this right now, in fact. Um, so we go back to the Bastion. It should be gone. We should get our clan tournament thing. And I did manage to complete the clan quests last time, just in the nick of time. I managed to make 5 million selling stuff. So let's see what's gone already. The 5 million from selling is gone this time, and my main account has actually come in and taken the defeat the Ultra Nightmare and defeat the Nightmare because I know nobody else in the clan can do it. At some point, I'm probably going to have to establish some new rules along with my new deputy, Mr. Burrito, and um, and Baby Beanie, or Beanie Senpai is the name of his main account. They're both members of my clan. Um, they're both members of my clan cluster, and at this point, they're both members of the Baby Clan as well. Here's Baby Beanie. He joined yesterday, and where's Baby Burrito? There he is. So basically, we got them. I even deputized Baby Burrito, so he's a deputy in my main clan. He's a deputy in this clan, and they're both uh, having a best start guide of their own. They both started the new game over. They're both doing that together. Um, I'm probably even going to do a collab with them at some point. I'm going to link the first episode of each of theirs in the description, just in case. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like the new year. Everybody's having this crazy lapse in judgment. Everybody wants to start the game over. So if you have just tuned into my channel and you're like, this looks like fun, I want to start over, you can actually start over immediately with episode one from either of their channels or both of their channels, or you could even go back and start with episode one of my channel. Maybe I'll put a link to that also, just in case you want to restart right now and you want to play along with one of the three of us. Cool. Um, let's take a look at the quests. Usually I want to take a quest before too many of the good ones are gone. We'll probably take from Expert, I think, this time around. I mean, if any of the silver selling ones are still left, but Baby Burrito was smart. He took the silver selling one. That's a really good one to take. So let's go with some classic arena ones. So increased speed in classic arena. We have a champion that can do this. We have the Abalist, right? Um, there we go. So we have the Abalist. We'll take that one. What else is in classic arena? I'm not gonna bother with any of the fill turn meter of all allies 50 times. We could do that too with the same champion. We could even keep an eye out for more turn meter fill champions. That'd be a good thing to have. And let's see, what gives really good synergy? Get the first turn. That's perfect synergy. So this, we can chip away on this all week. Maybe we could even do it during CvC, but there's perfect synergy between these things. And I'm not breaking any clan rules yet by taking too many expert quests. But like I said, if it gets to be a problem in any particular category, I might set up a rule where people are only allowed to take one quest at a time. But so far so good. My main account is allowed to take the all the elite quests that it wants because it's so far the only quest. Try again, Gavin. It's the only account in the clan that can do those quests. Sometimes I have to slow myself down. Thanks for bearing with me. So it's day 16. We basically, I mean, if you wanted to start over with me, you'd have the caveat that now I'm going about this in kind of an unorthodox way. I've decided to go for the first series of fragments because I really like Zinogre. If you were starting right now, it wouldn't be worth doing. I don't even know if it's possible to complete it anymore. But if you've already started it and you're slogging along trying to complete it, and you're like fresh out of the meat grinder, like I am this time around, it's a challenge, but it's doable. You get some advantages if you have a new account and you're trying to complete the same events that veterans are trying to complete. So, next thing on the list for us is we got the clan quests. We don't need to get more loot. I'm sorry, I haven't even updated my notes yet. Clan quests, we're doing arena times 3. We've got that. Um, what do we got? We got speed, TM, and go first. That's what we've got. And I mean, you can even look at this and think there's synergy here. You want to go first. You want to have a speed lead who puts increased speed and turn meter boost. Now, um, if we look at the rare demon spawn, we can see Diablos. She's the only one I have. So that makes her easy to find. The unfortunate thing is she's got the turn meter fill and she has the increased speed, but they're on two different abilities. If we were lucky at some point and we got, say, Apothecary. Here's a rare that I absolutely love for early game. Even mid game, even end game, he can find places on teams. He's got the increased speed with the turn meter fill. He's good and fast at a speed of 106. So you want him going first, and he can be a perfect speed lead. So if you pull him as a rare, don't chuck him just because it's like, oh, he's a rare. I'm looking for epics. I'm looking for Legos. He's at least an epic in disguise, maybe even a legendary in disguise. Maybe that's overstating it. I don't know. So we know we want a quadruple dip, right? So we're doing Ice Golem. We're doing it with food. We're doing champion training because we've got some food champions. They're 2 stars. So we've got the whatever his name is, discount shield guard, bully. They call him bully. Why do they call him? What a terrible name for a champion. Bully. Who wants to be a bully? Well, apparently bullies do. Anybody who was ever in high school, or middle school, or Hebrew school, you know. I mean, how sad is it that I had bullies when I was a kid and in Hebrew school? You know, you'd expect Jews to stick together at least, but no, I got picked on like crazy when I was in Hebrew school. It was awful, and it really made me hate the place. I think that might be part of what contributed to my being kind of spiritually an atheist, but I still culturally think of myself as a Jew. I got a bar mitzvah and all that. A lot of people don't know that about me. I'm Jewish. I don't know if I look Jewish. Sometimes I tell people that and they're like, okay, Gavin, you do look Jewish. Of course, sometimes I'm wearing a yarmulke when I say that. Then I really look Jewish. Ooh, he's nice and hot. So, um, this is going nice and fast. Did I just click the refresh on this battle and do 2? I did, didn't I? Without thinking, I just clicked it again. It's good that I have that habit, but I do want to make sure we're on track for everything that we want to do. So let's set up the teams for arena so that they're getting done what we want to get done. Oh, also, we can collect a daily login reward. It's just a book. Hey, we're gonna get speed gear tomorrow. That is going to be pretty cool. 4 pieces of speed gear. I'm hoping these are 4-star or better, not a bunch of 3-star items again, um, because 3-star stuff sucks. So please be 4-star, maybe even 5-star is better. As soon as we can manage to get into campaign nightmare, I'm gonna try to grind out some 6-star speed boots from Palace of Arabia. It can be absolutely game changing to have speed boots, particularly if we can then go to where's the dungeon? If we can then go to Sand Devil and somehow get enough oil and create speed boots. Because then speed boots, you've got a lot of congruity there. And with Sand Devil, this lady, the Ogre Blade Master, let's take a look at her. Let's just remind ourselves why we're doing this. She has a passive effect, prevents the death and keeps her alive at 1 HP. And it restores 50% HP. So you could even try to structure her so that she doesn't take any more than about 50% of her damage as she gets hit by the Sand Devil towards the big hit. And then the big hit usually just completely wipes out 100% of your HP. But because she's got this on a 4-turn cooldown, as long as you have her on a 4-turn cycle, you can use her to solo the Sand Devil. So we're going to try to do that together because I've never done that before with a solo champion. I don't think I've ever had a solo champion that could solo Sand Devil. Zinogre isn't the only one. Like, if you're watching this along and you're like, oh, I'm never going to be able to do that, you are going to be able to do that with some other champions. It will be possible. I'll show you one that everybody is guaranteed for free. She's just not a legendary. She's also not a she. I'm pretty sure it's a he. But if we go to the fusions and we go to the Razin fusion, if you collect these rares here and you fuse the epic Torture Helm towards it, Torture Helm also has it. In fact, his is on a 3-turn cooldown, so he might even be easier to build. Although, it might be a little harder. I'm not sure. I don't know. It says 50% HP, so now I'm thinking it's about the same. The difference being he is technically dying. Zinogre is technically not dying. I'm not really sure exactly what kind of a difference that makes for your turn order. It might make a little bit of a difference because I think if you die and come back, you get no turn meter. Whereas Zinogre, it doesn't say it does anything to her turn meter, so um, she might have a better chance of getting her 4 turns in a timely manner. So I don't know, maybe they're about the same. Hard to say. So let's take a look at all our stuff. I want to stay on top of this for all of my accounts because I'm doing this on 3 different accounts. So the BTPJ and BTPD Oversoul accounts are both chipping away at this. They managed to get to 45, so they both have an advantage. The mini account did not get to do any summoning in the last event. I knew it wasn't going to be possible, so I waited. There's another really sexy event going on right now. I think you get an extra legendary if you use your sacred, which could be completely amazing. But I don't want to. I want to keep that sacred. That's going to be a good 500 points towards that critical event. And we need to have as many points as possible towards the coming event. It's January 19th. That's when we're going to be doing this. We have roughly 1,500 points total so far collected. We've got an extra 50, come to think of it, out of mystery shards. So, and an extra ancient shard. And by then, we'll probably have at least one more ancient shard just from the weekly quests. They just reset, actually, but it will get the 5 during the event. So that should be no problem. I'm going to say hello to my clan. See if anybody bites. See if anybody else is doing a show. I'd be willing to bet my I don't know, something really valuable. I'd be willing to bet my main account that Mr. Burritos right now also making a show. Probably Beanie Baby as well. It's Baby Beanie, but I watched his first episode. He immediately regretted calling it Baby Beanie and wished he'd gone with Beanie Baby. It's a missed opportunity. Maybe when he gets enough gems, he'll flip it. Although I'm also wondering if that name's probably already taken. It's, I guess there's only one way to find out, Beanie Baby or Baby Beanie or Beanie Senpai. Um, but yeah, I do recommend both their shows. I have been a follower of Mr. Burrito for a while, since before I even became a YouTuber, and now I'm also following Beanie Senpai because he's got a really good show too. Um, so yeah, I'm plugging you guys. I got your back. You got my back. We're in a clan together. Anybody else who wants to join the clan, we're pretty much full now. I actually had to boot some people who were new. I hope I didn't boot anybody that is going to be too upset about it or take it too personally. Uh, I just really needed to make room for the two of them. My clan is now full of people who look like they're working hard, but if at some point somebody's been missing for 3 days or a week or whatever, and there are people who really want to join the clan, uh, there will probably be room for it. You can always be free to join the Discord channel, of course. The Discord channel can have as many members as you want. And hey, if you're vocal in the Discord channel, I am that much likelier to want to get you into my clan. So let's set up our. Actually, let's go to the champion menu. This is what we're going to do. I, out of habit, I'm selecting Vault Champions, but I think it's nothing but the spare Berserkers. But we want increased speed. So weak version, nobody's got the weak version. Strong version, we have two champions that have it, and only one of each. So getting an extra Diabolist might be well worthwhile. She's campaign farmable, so maybe I'll do that as well. I think he actually just has a single target increased speed. It's just on himself. So, I mean, it's better than nothing. But basically, we're going to be looking at. I mean, we've only got one team anyway. We probably just want to make it. We probably just want to make it the main team. It could even be the main team. She'll get knocked over right away. She will go first. So this actually should be no problem. I was going to say we're going to make a team together that makes sure we do this, but honestly, I've already got the team. So it's Diabolist. We're going to open with her positive charge. I could even switch the Electrical Storm. The problem is this knocks over enemy champions. Maybe the best way to make sure I get to do both, in fact, against a single target that probably will get knocked over in one hit, I could even do this. We could go in alone, take it off auto, and just make sure that she gets to cycle through her turns and do both. This way we'll get just a few more points. So this, she gets the positive charge. Although, you know what? We're filling fewer turn meters. I outsmarted myself a little here. And then she does this. But I'm only doing it on one champion now. So way to go, stupid. So don't do what I just did. That's dumb. What I should have done is come in with a bunch of food champions. Let's see if we get another really easy single man defense so we can do it right. So let's say we get her. I'm also kind of I may be playing chicken with myself because she's actually a lower level than him. He might even be geared. That could be bad. So let's just bring in Sun Wukong. It might still knock that champion over in like one hit, but let's just do it this way. Actually, do you have a speed aura, right? Let's bring in just a couple of other champs. We'll bring some that look like they could get some stuff done. Let's see how this goes. So we'll do the turn meter boost on everybody. Could even do the increased speed on everybody first. I'm sort of expecting this guy to not go down in one hit. She didn't get to place her weaken. We'll just do an A1. And now we can do the turn meter boost. Why is it not letting me do it? Oh, it's an attack, technically. So, no, it's not. I don't know what's going on. My apologies, people. But anyway, we'll put it on full auto. She's probably going to do the right thing. And this should give us a fair number of points towards all of the clan quests. I don't know how practical it is to keep that as the main one going. But if we go to the clan quests, and it's expert, so we're working towards our goal. The increased speed, we've placed it 5 times now. Getting the first turn, this is actually, I mean, it doesn't matter how many members. Filling the turn meters of all allies. It's all allies. It doesn't matter how many they are, as long as it's all of them. Okay. So really, she could go by herself and get these at the same rate, but she'll get this a lot faster if we have a full team. So that's how we're going to do it. I'd really just like to make sure we're in a team that has a good chance of winning. So we could do this one, for example. This guy can actually get himself back up, but as long as we're dealing with a Kale that's not level 60, I think we have a chance. We got Sun Wukong Speed Aura. It's an extra 28% to speed. It's the best thing by far we can get at the beginning of the game. There's really only one category of Speed Aura that's even better, and that comes from the likes of Arbiter, Shen Wuzhen, Ball Cannon, and just other Void legendaries. Oh, and Kymar. Oh, come to think of it, Lord Shazar has a 32%, so he actually has the best one. But anyway, he's another legendary. It is highly unlikely that anybody is going to get any of those champions within their first week of playing. But if you happen to get them, hey, that's really cool. That's super cool. I'm so jealous of you, person I just made up, because I don't know, it seems super unlikely. So this team looks like another one that we can blow over pretty easily. You're probably acutely aware of this by now. If you've been playing for 16 days or so, you're going to look at an arena champion or an arena team, and you're going to look for Kale or Galek or one of the other starters, because that's who you're going to expect to see in the team. And if you don't see them, that's often an even worse sign. Because if you don't see them, it means they've already kind of outpaced their main nuker. So like this team, they got a 6-star Sun Wukong. We have like 0 chance against them. So let's set up our dungeon team. I'll come to think of it, let's check on the clan boss. I forgot to do clan boss yesterday, right after I clicked off. I just realized that. I'm like, oh man, I forget clan boss so many times in this account. So here we've got Ultra Nightmare. Jeskier came in and she did 6,000 damage. Jeskier, if you happen to be watching this, don't throw your keys away on Ultra Nightmare. It isn't going to help you. This is not going to get you anything. I know it looks like there's an account that's trying to take down Ultra Nightmare. And we may get there as a clan. It'd be really fun to see if by the end of the year we can have enough people that are hitting Ultra Nightmare that we actually take it down. That could be like a worthy goal for the clan, especially now that we got 3 content creators that are kind of doing a collab. It's not a proper collab. It's kind of like a co-lab that's not a collab. I don't know. But we're all working together. And it's good for clan to have some congruity when you're doing clan boss. So we wanna stay focused on whatever level of clan boss we're doing. Let's see how are the babies doing. So Baby Beanie and Baby Burrito and some of our other junior members are here doing about 1 million for 5 keys. Burrito, wow. My first day, I didn't even bother with Clan Boss. I mean, that's the thing. Like you You kind of want to be able to do clan boss, but honestly, 5 keys. Um, I mean, I wouldn't even have bothered, but he obviously wanted that top chest just to help with the points for uh, the CvC tournament. I don't know, but Mr. Burrito, my hat's off to you. Hang on, I'm gonna put on a hat, and then I'm gonna take it off. And my hat's off to you. 5 keys, and Baby Bean, same thing. Although you managed to do it in 4 keys. Although I think his Kale might have been 4-starred a little bit longer. Anyway, like I'm gushing about my own clan members, but it's a good clan. I'm proud of all of you. Any of you around? I don't know. Say hi in the clan chat or join the Discord channel. Say hi there. I'd love to hear from you guys. Um, but anyway, I did not forget though. I did come back here and I did use my single key for here and for normal. I can now 2-key normal. So that's what I'm doing. And I didn't bother with hard yet. I can't even reach the first threshold. I'd need to make 3 million in a single key. That's not possible for my main account yet. But once I've 6-starred my Kale, absolutely. And of course I brought in the Oversoul just to finish this one off so that we could all get 2 chests, or so that you all could get 2 chests, or so the clan could all get 2 chests down here. Um, and that's kind of, I'm okay under earning with my Oversoul account here. I mean, part of the thing is I just wanted to be able to manage the junior clan, and I figured this way, without too much extra work, I have an account that can just sort of keep up with whatever the clan level is. So currently, I'd say the clan level is hard. This clan wasn't even defeating hard, but with Oversoul, it's no problem. It'd be a different experience. This is the one thing that is kind of a cheat, I think. That I have a clan that has historically been able to reach Ultra Nightmare. Um, Most of the accounts that were able to reach that ended up moving on to other clans because when I created this one, there weren't quite enough of us to get to it. People ended up joining the main clan or finding another good clan. But that's probably priority one for your clan. As much as CvC looks like it's a worthy goal, as much as Hydra looks like it's a worthy goal, I think the absolute most important thing is clan boss and making sure that your clan knows what level it's at and is beating that level of clan boss. So it's at 0 seconds. It's about to reset. And we could sit around and wait for it, but sometimes it takes an extra couple of minutes. So in the meantime, we can look at faction wars. Is there anything obvious I could do in faction wars? I got this energy squirreled away. I'm going to use that strategically when we're out of energy, but this is probably the best time to use it because it's CvC. The Sylvan Watchers, I don't even think we could do level 1. We just saw basically I had 2 uncommons that aren't leveled at all. Do I seriously have no orcs? Wait a minute, how's that possible? I have shaman. Where is she? I'm so confused. Oh, this is Night Revenant. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. I had a big brain fart. I thought I clicked on orcs. Orcs are the bad guys. They're the guys you're fighting. Um, yeah. Uh, but in the spirit of what I said in the last episode, I came to let's go up to the notes for a minute. I came to the faction wars. And my new suggestion, even if it's a brand new game, my new suggestion is make sure you keep one champion from every faction. There's actually a challenge associated with it. I think it's in Champions. Keep a champion from every faction in your collection. It's in the very final part. So by the time you get here, you're going to want to keep one just to complete um, this challenge. But then once you get to the faction wars, you're gonna want to just be able to farm level 1. So maybe what I'll even do is this guy, I have not built this guy on any account. I don't know if he's worth building. I'd rather find one of the rares. Um, like Kate, Pathfinder Kate is one of my favorites, and she's likely enough to drop, I think, but I don't know. There are a lot of champions in the game now. So we got Glen Spear. He's got places weaken. No, extra hit if they're under weaken. He places weaken here. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. So he's not an AoE champ. If you're going to have one champ that solos, I'd say bring Branch Weaver. She at least has an AoE, and she's got some decreased speed on it, so she'd have a little more control over the enemy party. So if going with an uncommon, I'd actually rather have her. But obviously, if we could get Tierlac or Not or Kate, they're my 3 favorites from this faction. Particularly Not. I don't think he has any AoEs, but with him, you can have him revive multiple members of the party. I just put him in regen, so he's always going to be pumping back lots of stuff. He's got to heal anyway. So he'd be the one exception. I'd say if you had him and you're soloing and he's in regen, you probably don't need AoEs. But this is something to bear in mind for basically every faction. Every single one. So High Elves, for example, we have it now because we have Elhain. We got lucky. She's one of the starters. We didn't start with her. We started with Kale. That's what I recommend. But Elhain is perhaps my favorite of the starters. And maybe I have a bias because when I started this game, she's the one I picked the first time. And I will swear by her. She's good. You can complete the game with her. No problem. But Kale's a little bit better for bosses because he's got all those poisons. So there's that. And I'd say Ethel is probably a clear number 2 because she's got a triple hitter on her A1. Let's look at Ethel while we're talking about her. We even pulled an Ethel, come to think of it. I've been lucky with the rares. I've been getting all the starters, but I wouldn't recommend building all the starters. I see some people do this in the game, but you're basically filling the same role again and again by doing that. So I wouldn't recommend doing it. So we have the triple hitter, which means you can get the Giant Slayer Mastery and you get a chance to proc extra damage on each of the 3 hits, and you have a chance to place weaken. That's completely amazing. That is probably just as good for Clan Boss, honestly. She's got the AoE, which I might even just turn off against the Clan Boss. Although, obviously, if I'm using her as our Factions Wars solo champion, then this is going to be prioritized. And this is going to be used just to help cycle through her turns because she can buff herself. She's a great unit. Honestly, I'd say she's probably as good of a choice as Kale, with the caveat that Kale is going to be faster at campaign farming. And oddly enough, even though I say Galek is like just number 4, just the worst of the 4, he's still good and he can still campaign at the same speed as Kale. So if you picked Galek and you're like, oh man, what have I done? Why? Why did I pick Galek? You know what? He's good. His damage can be just as good. I like the fact that he could do increased speed on himself. That can help when he's soloing areas because he's making himself faster. Although Kale gets turn meter boost when he does critical hits, so he's also making himself faster. Ethel cycles through her turns, so she's making herself faster. Leaving Elhain the odd man out, or the odd woman out. But she's got multiple area of effect attacks, so I think that makes up for it. Especially if you're clearing waves in one hit, then you just go to the next area and you have another AoE. So I think that's why she's the best, but also the worst. Just little subtleties about all the starters that nobody asked me to cover in this 16th episode, but there it is. So I'm going to go back to the clan boss. I think I was just trying to fill dead air because I wanted to get back to the clan boss. So my favorite thing about this account right now is that we could come here, we can get a warrior chest for free. No time involved or anything. We just hit start. It just runs it. 2.2 million damage. Just after seeing the struggle at the beginning of the game, it makes us feel kind of like a god. Then we can come here. We're getting the chop chest from here too. 160 points. Worth a lot more than the warrior chest. And let's just go ahead and start. Yeah, we'll start. Armiger, I'm wondering, in fact, for the first wave, I might even say this is the dungeon team. So I'm doing double duty with this preset, but I'd be fine with just putting this on 1 and maybe putting this on a 1 for the first wave because it hits harder anyway. So against the clan boss, this is probably the way to go. Shield guard, this is a harder hitting move and it does turn meter fill. So we'll start with that. And Kale, this is an interesting one because for clan boss, we really want this to be his main move. But for waves, this is why we should create a separate clan boss thing. But here's what I'll do. I'm going to shut this off, but I'm going to leave it as the opener. Just the opener. So he'll use it once, which is a little less efficient. We'll see if this makes a difference. Last time, I want to say we got to about maybe 1.8, 1.9 million in a single key. So Armiger's going to go for his main, I don't know, his A2. I'm already blanking on what's called. Burial, stay down, die, MF, die. I don't know. It's not like he's going to last particularly long yet. So this is one of the reasons I want Zinogre. We get Zinogre, we're going to put her into the clan boss team, because she's got Leech. And that means that all of my other champions, as they're attacking, they're going to be getting health back. Of course, we do have a Reviver, but honestly, a Reviver in the clan boss team is of limited value because every single turn that goes by, it's more like every cycle of 3 turns that goes by, he ramps up his damage. This is why you have a tendency to get wiped out against clan boss beyond a certain point. You're not imagining it. He really is getting more and more and more powerful as the fight progresses. And once he gets to turn 50, if you've got an account that can fight well enough to get to turn 50, he starts to use block revive, so revivers won't even work anymore. Block damage won't work because he ignores that. Unkillable doesn't work because he ignores that. So by turn 50, he's doing completely crazy damage. The only way to really survive beyond turn 50 is to either have insanely good champions or to be doing that shield growing thing that you can do with various champions. The classic champion that could do this was Brogni, who was one of my first fusions from way back in the day. Fun champion, very powerful, nice shields that he puts up, and they reflect damage against the clan boss or against other players. So you might see Brogni in the arena, and he can be kind of annoying because he's got shields that you can't even remove. But there are new champions that do this too, like Emic. Is it Emic that also reflects shield damage? There are multiple champions that do it now. Anyway. So we're making pretty good damage this time around for normal difficulty. Or are we? Maybe this is really not that much better. This is probably about average, honestly. I think I got a 1.9, but it was when he dropped and then he switched to Spirit. So Spirit can really help you if your main guy is Kale. It'd do to have a main clan boss DPS for each of the 3 major affinities for when the affinity drops. Because once he gets to Spirit or Force or Magic, then you can start to take advantage of the fact that you might have a nuker that has the affinity advantage, right? Because you get an extra 15% crit rate. So you could actually build them with less crit rate if you know that they're your contingency nuker. But we can cover that when we're optimizing a clan boss team. We're not there yet. Honestly, next thing is we want to get to that we want to get to that 6-star Kale. So I think this is about all I wanted to do today. Maybe I'll stick in some more. You know what? I'm going to go to the tavern. I I was holding off on upgrading the ranks of a number of the champions for the simple reason that we can get points in CvC for it. But I'm also thinking, if we're really serious about the Zinogre events, we could wait for the next champion training event, although we probably will have no trouble clearing it. Let's just go for let's go for the champions we want. Except now I realize I really don't want to use this guy. What I want to do, here we'll come in and we'll do a, I don't even know if I want to do a 10 pull because I want to be conservative with what we want to do. So we'll do a 3 pull just to complete the daily quest. Hey, it's Mage Killer. She's one of my favorites in terms of looks. I just like the way she looks. But her kit is just is hilariously bad. It's completely hilarious. She looks like she should be a good champion, and she's got a name that suggests she'd be a good champion. She's the Mage Killer. But I can't think of a single mage in this game that she'd be able to kill. So we got Slicer. Love the hair Slicer. When I used to have some hair, I was able to do that too. The Heihachi do. It's a great way to attract the ladies. The ladies out there, you know you love that hairstyle, right? It looks absolutely awesome. You know, you go around and you're like, yeah, look at me, ladies. I am a sex knight with my Heihachi hair. Um, so on the dailies, we've got upgrade artifacts. Let's just do one. Oh, hey, look at this. Look, 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 look. Remember when I said we completed the quest? We got a few more coins, and I happened to get lucky, and I happened to get an amulet for Kale, and I didn't even roll it up yet. So I'm just going to roll it up to 4, and this will be the rolls we need for today. But it's even attack. The one thing that would have been even better would be crit damage amulet, but it's got accuracy on it, and it's got crit damage as a subset, which is the next best thing to having it as the main set. I would have preferred a crit damage amulet, but I'll take it. And it's even got the random critical or the random counterattacks, which is completely awesome. So Kale has an amulet. His damage just got that much better. And we've also completed that quest, and we increase level in the tavern. This should be super easy. So hey, Mage Killer. I talked about how much I like Mage Killer. Have some champions I don't like as much. 3 levels. There, we've finished all the daily quests. Do we want to do anything from advanced before we go? Fight in Tag Arena with 4 different affinities. That's easy enough. That's easy enough to do. I think I even already have a team that does that. Maybe I don't. So we just take this one, and All right, I want to put together a good third team that doesn't use these champions. So it'll be this guy, and it's just going to be another loss leader team. So I don't really care what the others are. So we could just bring like her, and a spirit champion, like this dude. Come on, dude. All right, so this is our battle 1, 2, 3, and this is our loss leader team, so that lines up very well. We'll put Kale up against these two. Oh, this team is probably still going to lose. I'm fine with it. I just want to get it done so I get the extra 50 energy. And this is easy. I do like it when it says just compete in a battle using these 4 affinities. It doesn't matter if you win. You don't have to win, which is good. I don't expect to be able to win. They just got knocked right over. This guy has ninja. So shield guard, I mean, like if anybody can survive this onslaught, it's shield guard, but even he's not doing particularly well. Sun Wukong is surprisingly good, given that he's the wrong affinity to be taking on ninja. Yeah, I think he's still going to go down. Valiant effort. A for effort, Sun Wukong. And so now the one where we at least get to win, boom, one hit. So it doesn't look so pathetic. And you know what? We have enough coins, so we're going to take the Drexstar fragments. This is something that you should make sure you do. You want the Drexstar fragments because um, eventually we'll have a free Lego. So I didn't forget. Yeah, so the defense is crappy. We basically just set a bunch of threes to drop our rank so that we can have easier wins. Maybe I should have gone for easier wins, come to think of it, because they are points towards clan versus clan. This is our first clan versus clan, so maybe we should talk about the objectives and stuff like that. So Dragon, for example, that's doubled in this one. Normally, Dragon earns half as many points as every other dungeon. So you can see like Dragon Stage 20, 100 points, but they're doubled. So right now you get 200 points. Ice Golem is normally 200 points. So right now, Dragon is just worth the same as the others, although we're just going to be doing Ice Golem, which is why it's a shame that it's not double Ice Golem. But normally, I I don't know if they've ever done this differently, but normally whatever dungeon is associated with an event, it's never double points during CvC. They would never be that kind to us. So Faction Wars, this is why we want to do the Faction Wars stages. Faction Wars can be worth a lot, and it's doubled right now. So I'm going to try to find some champions that can at least let us push through. I don't have any Knight Revenants though, so I don't know how I'm going to achieve that. There is one that's campaign farmable, but I want to use everything on Ice Golem. So if it weren't for a fusion where it's tight, 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 and we absolutely have to make sure we use every last resource completing various fusion requirements. And I keep saying fusion. It's fragment events. It's not a fusion. Fusions are worse. I would not start the game with a fusion. I really would draw the line there because fusions are really something else. But I've come to the wrong stage. This is the Deadlands, but there are good champions in every stage, right? Here it's War Maiden. This is what we want from the Deadlands. But Voldemort Strait, for example, we want Templar. And if we ever pull a Templar, I'm probably going to build him. I really, really like him because he's got this block damage on a 3-turn cooldown if you book him. He's a neat champion. I'd love to have him on the account just because it's good to have somebody that can just go completely unkillable, and he does that. Of course, we want an extra Diabolist for the speed control. And in fact, if I pulled an extra one, just doing the daily campaign fights, maybe I'll even go up to doing this until I get a second Diabolist. We could put her into the team so that the first one is boosting all the turn meter. The second one is then just placing increased speed. So we're doing both before anybody does anything else. But for Knight Revenant, in Area 11, you can get Executioner, and this guy is nice. You can place the increased defense and counterattack on him. It's on I guess this book's down to a 5-turn cooldown, and it really only lasts for 3 turns. So it's not like he can cover himself the whole time, but you could basically time it so that if you know you have time for 2 attacks, you basically bring in your AoE, and then you immediately put your counterattack thing, and you just kind of mop up as the enemy attacks you. He even has a defense aura. So this guy would be great. If I wanted a solo champion, this is where I'd come looking for him. So I am not going to do that this time. If we happen to get lucky and find a good solo champion, so be it. Otherwise, I don't know. And for Sylvan Watchers, they don't exist in the main campaign. They're a newer faction, and I already covered who I thought would be better for that. So that's all I've got to say today, I think. How we doing? Here, I'm just gonna line up some dungeons. We'll just do the 20. And we'll just do the multi-battles. I might even line up all the energy to do the multi-battles later in a bit. Hey, I don't know. Let's just get this one started and look at the notes. But I think I've basically covered everything I wanted to say today. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're 50 minutes in. So, I filled the time quite nicely. Thank you, me. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Always nice to be nice to yourself. Um, so we want to bolo War Maiden and Diabolist. This is just kind of an ongoing thing. But really, right now, you know what? You know what's missing from my notes? It's like it's like an if-then statement. Like if frag events do frag events, right? So if frag events do frag events. Um, so for me, that's Ice Golem, Dungeon Divers event. That's about all that's going on right now, come to think of it. But that's still plenty. So this is a big priority. I'm even gonna put like a little arrow here just to remind me, so I don't look silly when I come back and immediately do the wrong thing. I am even wondering if Shield Guard could do this by himself. Am I willing to risk some energy to prove or disprove this theory? I don't know. I mean, it's faster with Kale. It's not like we need to level that much more food. It's not like champion training events are going on right now, which is why I'm doing a bunch of 2-stars. 2-stars are kind of the worst return for points when you're doing champion training, which is why if you really want to get ahead in a champion training event, when you're outside of champion training events, you want to just campaign farm as much as possible with 2-star units. And then just leave them at level 20 in the tavern, and once a champion training event drops, then you immediately upgrade them all to 3-stars, and you start training them, because 3-stars are worth twice as much for each level. And here's the caveat. If you completely fill up your roster and you don't even have room to pull new champions anymore because you're completely full of 2-star units, then maybe just start upgrading a few of them just so you have enough room to work with. But that's what I do with early game accounts. Honestly, I do that on my end game account. I still do the 2-star champion training because unless I'm pulling lots and lots of ancient shards or better, I've got to make my food out of the uncommon champions. So I think that's all I've got to say. So thanks for stopping by. See you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.